I'm here with my buddy Philip Williams, and I'd like to encourage you to watch the Phil Williams Show, and you can go to patriotinsights.com.
All right. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
It is that time for my response to a tweet. Wow. This one, had to do it. The tweet says, "No one will stop this sexual freak show in our children's schools' bathrooms. No one will stop this sexual freak show in our children's school bathrooms." As you know, the buzz today, it's trending on Facebook, but not from a conservative perspective, I bet you. It's trending on Facebook as an accomplishment, or probably a whole bunch of bigots and everybody and racist and insensitive human beings coming against our transgender community. Very, very, very minute population in America. And of course, what's trending probably on Facebook, like I said, is not the conservative point of view, because they have a hard time getting a conservative perspective trending. But I am going to respond to this tweet this way. Can we agree that this transgender issue is sexual? It has something to do with sex, the sex of a person, or it has a sexual connotation to it, right? The part that's really truly amazing about this whole situation, especially when it comes to our schools, is that we are allowing our children to feel like they are making a very, very mature decision, a very, very mature assessment of their sexuality. We are constantly saying on one hand that our children are influenced into their thought, and they're still developing, and so they're not making clear, coherent thoughts. We are saying that a child can go out and commit a certain kind of crime and not be held accountable because they're a child. We protect their children's records of their certain crimes because they're children. But on the other hand, we're saying that these children are mature enough to make this decision who they are sexually. As a matter of fact, we have grown people making this transgender decision and backtracking off of that. But then we're going to encourage our children in this confused decision like it's no confusion at all. But then the situation with our children in schools has now come down to where one child, I'm here in Georgia, one child is feeling uncomfortable because she goes into a bathroom and gets beat up because of them functioning in their confusion. Now, first of all, anybody that goes anywhere and gets beat up, that should be the focus. No one should go anywhere and get beat up, bullied, or anything, whether they're confused sexually or not. Why aren't you addressing that issue? Why are you throwing the whole baby out with the bathwater when all you got to do is go address the ones kicking this transgender's ass when he goes into the bathroom? How about that? Throw the whole nation into this confusion that adults can't even do right and apply it on our children when all you got to do is just go have zero tolerance for the ones kicking this transgender's tail. But here's the bigger thing. The federal government, liberals, they opened up the solution to this whole thing. They're saying that if you do not comply with this sexual transgender dynamic, you will lose funds. You will have retribution against you when it comes to funding, positions, and things of this nature. So, why don't we stop this foolishness with a sexual harassment lawsuit against the government? Isn't the definition of sexual an unwelcome sexual advancement? This transgender thing is unwelcome. I don't want a gentleman with a ding-a-ling coming in the bathroom with my daughter because he wants to function confused. Why don't we go create another bathroom for that person? Or if it's not the issue and the person is getting beat up in the bathroom, why don't we do something to stop people from beating up people before we enforce this sexual harassment on our children? But here's where the lawsuit really gets cool. Because it says it's the conduct that's made as a term or condition or threat, explicit or implied, of loss of employment, money, educational, or living opportunities. That's what the federal government's saying. If you do not comply to this sexual harassment, you're going to lose money, position, employment, a chance to get educated. You're going to lose. So the federal government should have a sexual lawsuit filed against it. Because all you have to do to accommodate this confused child is their own bathroom. It's not discriminating. It's called accommodating. Because you are willing to overthrow the whole evolutionary or how God constructed humanity. For what? A man is a man, a woman is a woman, and if any individual wants to be confused about that nature, give them their own room. Before you make the 99.7% of Americans that understand what a man is and understand what a woman is, that can appreciate and accommodate a man in the bathroom with a man and a woman in the bathroom with a woman, and you take that 0.03%, if they want to choose to function that way, fine. Why don't you just give them their own place? Then the only person in there kicking their tail is another confused person, probably arguing as women. Hey, what kind of jockstrap do you wear to make sure your thing stays in place so it doesn't pop out in an uncommonly place? Why don't you do that and let them argue amongst themselves? Versus, if there's such a protected class, why would you force them onto the rest of society that will have a problem with it? We're saying we don't have a problem with it. We have a problem with it when you're forcing it and then threatening us. Why does my daughter, why does my son have to go through that? They're not confused until that person comes into the bathroom. Mommy, why does she have boobies like you but a thingy like daddy? Now the child is officially confused. We are experiencing the invasion of the body snatchers, people. We are no longer functioning like good Americans. We are no longer functioning. And you transgenders, you got to understand something. The same people that's trying to get you to be out in the open and come into men's bathrooms and women's bathrooms are the same people that's bringing ISIS into this country, and them jokers will kill you dead. The same very people that's got you gassed up is bringing the people over here that'll have you in the ground ass up. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself further. I'm Phil Williams, and that's my response to this tweet on the Phil Williams Show.